J.Crew cashmere used to be grade A and 2-ply. Your father's lasted 20 years. Then they thinned it, sent it offshore, and the pilling complaints piled up. Same price, half the sweater. The fiber quietly collapsed while the tag stayed proud. 7 sweater brands robbing you, 5 worth every penny. Number 1. J.Crew. Here is the marker that matters, and I want to be fair before I am blunt. The cashmere J.Crew, sold 15 years ago, was genuinely good. Grade A fiber, often 2-ply. A real weight you could feel close the hand around. Men still have those sweaters in rotation today, and that is the entire point. They lasted. Somewhere in the 2000s, the yarn changed. The everyday pieces got thinner. The ply dropped on the standard line. Production moved overseas, and the pilling reviews stacked up year after year, while the collection prices held at the mid-3 figures they always charged. The label is never the yarn, and J.Crew spent a decade proving it. Now, in fairness, they have recently relaunched a new cashmere. Finer fibers, the good cashmere standard sourcing badge, a real attempt to win the trust back. I will acknowledge the rehab, but here is the verdict that stands. They sold degraded cashmere at full price for 10 years. The production is still overseas, the price is still premium, and a sourcing badge does not undo a decade of thin sweaters. The trust broke. The value question remains open, and J.Crew is only where the decline starts. Number 2. Banana Republic. Here's the 10-second test that exposes this one at the rack. Turn the sweater inside out and look at the seams. If the panels were cut from a flat knitted sheet and serged shut, that is cut and sew. Faster, cheaper, prone to bulk at the joins and to unraveling over time. If the panels were knitted to their final shape and joined cleanly, that is the better build. Much of the current Banana Republic line is the cheap method, and that stings because the 90s Banana Republic earned real trust. Solid merino, honest weight, a mall sweater that punched well above its price. The men watching this bought those and remember them. Today, the merino and the cashmere blend knits are marked up against the actual fiber inside them, while the construction quietly slid to the scissors and serger method. The fiber tag still reads respectable. The seams tell the truth. You are paying a step up from basic for a sweater built a step down from what the brand used to make. This is the "it used to be better" decline this whole audience grew up watching in real time. The next brand does not even pretend the fiber is the point. Number 3. Tommy Hilfiger. This is the purest version of the trick on the entire list. You are not paying for the build, you are paying for the flag. Tommy Hilfiger knits are basic cotton, lambswool, and wool blend pieces. Perfectly ordinary fiber at a premium the red, white, and blue badge conjures out of nothing. The brand is PVH owned, produced overseas, and priced on the 90s nostalgia it still trades on 3 decades later. I want to be precise here because precision protects you. There is nothing scandalous in the construction. A Tommy lambswool crewneck is a competent, unremarkable sweater, but there is nothing special in it either. The fiber is department store grade. The gauge is ordinary. The finishing is fine and forgettable. What you are buying is the logo on the chest and the memory it carries from when you were younger. Strip the flag off the front and set it on a plain rack with no name. You would walk straight past the price without a second look. That is the whole transaction. The badge is the product. The label is never the yarn. Here it is, the only thing you are buying. The sweater is just what it is printed on. Now we climb the price ladder, where the robbery puts on a quieter and far more expensive disguise. Number 4. Vince. Here is where it stings, because Vince looks like the grown-up answer. Soft cashmere, clean minimalist styling, $300 and up. The brand a man buys when he has decided to stop buying mall sweaters and do it properly. So pick it up and stretch the knit across your hands. The cashmere is frequently thinner and lower in ply than the price implies. You are paying luxury money for a mid-weight sweater that drapes beautifully on the hanger and thins out faster than it should under real wear. Now, let me be accurate, because the skeptic in this audience will check. Vince is not a failing company. It is profitable and growing. But since 2023, the brand's intellectual property is majority-owned, 75%, by Authentic Brands Group. Vince now licenses its own name back from Authentic, paying a royalty to sell sweaters under its own label. That matters. It is run as a brand asset now, not an independent craft house pouring its soul into grams of fiber. and asset management tends to land exactly where you cannot see it, in the weight of the sweater. The robbery here is not the company's health, it is the product. Thin cashmere at a thick cashmere price. The label promises permanence. The ply quietly disagrees. The fifth brand charges the same kind of premium for even less reason. Number 5. Theory. So what exactly are you paying for here? I will credit Theory honestly first, because it deserves it. The merino and the good wool Theory uses are genuinely fine fibers. The sweaters are well made. This is not a decline story, and it is not a blend masquerading as wool. The fiber is real, and that is precisely what makes the markup so clean to see. You are not paying for extra fiber, you are paying for the plain black minimalist label and the aesthetic it signals. The micron count in a Theory merino is competitive, not exceptional. The construction is good, not heritage grade. There is no 30-gauge story here, no hand-linking, no centuries-old mill. There is a restrained design, a clean silhouette, and a quiet badge that other people who buy Theory recognize on sight. People genuinely pay for that, and I understand why. But it is a design premium wearing the costume of a fiber premium. You tell yourself the sweater costs that much because of what is in it. Read the tag honestly, and the truth is that you are buying the look, and the yarn is simply along for the ride. Pay for it if you love the look. Just do not tell yourself the fiber earned the price. The sixth brand sells the same illusion with more drama and a chunkier knit. Number 6. AllSaints. Walk past the AllSaints rack and the knits look serious. Chunky, architectural, vaguely rebellious. The kind of designer sweater that photographs like $300, priced at $180 to $250. Now do the 10-second test and read the fiber tag. They are frequently wool acrylic or wool blends, not the pure fiber the silhouette implies. And acrylic is plastic. It bobbles and fuzzes fast. It holds odor in a way wool never does. And it does not breathe or regulate temperature the way real wool will. Here is the line that matters. There is nothing wrong with a blend at a blend price. A $30 or $40 acrylic wool sweater is honest about what it is. There is everything wrong with that same blend at a designer price. You are paying a fashion markup for a fiber content you would not glance at twice, not if the styling were plainer and the store lighting were worse. The drama is all in the cut and the drape. The savings the brand quietly pocketed are all in the yarn. You are buying a mood, and the mood is made of plastic. The label is never the yarn. With AllSaints, it is not even the fiber. The seventh brand is the one that will hurt this audience the most. Number 7. Brooks Brothers. Founded in 1818, this was the great American clothier, the house that dressed presidents, the name a man trusted without thinking about it. Its Shetland sweaters, its Saxon wool, its lamb's wool crew necks were a wardrobe staple for the men watching this for 40 years. I will credit that heyday without reservation because it was real. Then came 2020. The pandemic and a heavy debt load pushed Brooks Brothers into bankruptcy. It was bought out of the wreckage by a retail venture tied to Simon Property and Authentic Brands. Then, in early 2025, that venture merged with JCPenney to form a conglomerate called Catalyst Brands. Read the shareholder list and you will find Shein on it, the fast fashion giant. The house that dressed Lincoln now shares a boardroom with Shein. Sit with that, and the longtime customers, the ones who knew exactly how the old sweaters felt, started reporting the same thing in the reviews. Thinner knits, more offshore production, less of the old hand and weight, still priced premium on the strength of the name over the door. This is the cruelest version of the decline. The badge carries 2 centuries of earned trust, and that trust is now sold against a sweater that no longer earns it. The heritage knit your father owned, hollowed out and traded on its reputation. But here is the turn. The real thing never actually went away. It just stopped shouting. Here are 5 that earn every dollar. First, John Smedley. If you want to see what all the others used to be, you start in Derbyshire, England. John Smedley has knitted at Lee Mills since 1784, the oldest manufacturing knitwear factory still running anywhere on Earth. The fiber is extra fine merino, sourced from New Zealand's South Island and spun in Italy, alongside rare Sea Island cotton grown in California. But the number that tells the whole story is the gauge. Smedley knits at 30 gauge. The industry calls 10 gauge fine. 30 gauge means a finer needle and a denser, smoother fabric. Far more stitches holding the garment together per inch. It is why these sweaters resist fuzzing and hold their shape for years. Every piece is knitted to shape, panel by panel, then linked, not cut from a sheet and serged. It has carried a royal warrant for years, renewed by King Charles himself in 2024, and it is made entirely in England, start to finish. $250 to $350 buys a sweater that outlives most of the wardrobe around it. This is the lamb's wool your father wore for 20 years and handed down, still being made the same way by the same mill. The next hero comes off a Scottish hillside. Second, William Lockie. Same money as a thin Vince cashmere, the opposite sweater. William Lockie has worked in Hawick, Scotland since 1874. Still family run, in the heart of the Borders knitting trade. The fiber is Geelong lamb's wool, the soft fine fleece from young Australian sheep, and real Scottish milled cashmere. But the construction is where your money actually goes, and it is exactly what the villains skipped. Lockie sweaters are knitted to shape and hand-linked. That means the seams are joined stitch by a person, not raced shut by an overlocking machine on a clock. Hand-linking is slower, costlier, and nearly invisible from the outside, but it is the reason a Lockie sweater holds its shape through a decade of real wear. No twisting, no bagging at the seams. $200 to $260. That puts premium Borders fiber and genuine craft construction on your back for less than the thin luxury knits charge for half the sweater. This is the value the markup brands do not want you to find, because once you have held one, the $300 thin cashmere never makes sense again. The third hero trades the Scottish hills for an Italian workshop. Third, Gran Sasso. Here is a name most men have worn without knowing it. Gran Sasso is made in Italy, in the Abruzzo region. It is the quiet operation behind a great deal of knitwear that men simply think of as well-made. Fine gauge merino, long staple cotton, and cashmere, milled and crucially finished in Italy. Finishing is the part nobody talks about and everybody can feel. It is the washing, pressing, and treating of the knit after it comes off the machine. And Italian finishing is genuinely an art. It gives the fabric a hand feel and a stitch regularity that cheaper, faster finishing simply cannot fake. You notice it the moment you put the sweater on. The merino and cotton pieces run roughly $150 to $250. The cashmere closer to $250 to $400. This is a brand the audience keeps requesting by name, and the answer is the simplest one in the video. It is real, it is honest. The money goes into the sweater and into the hands that finished it, not into a logo licensing fee. The fourth hero is the most authentic object on this entire list. Fourth, Meáin. Out on the Aran Islands off the west coast of Ireland, a family-run knitting company makes the genuine article, not the mall's Aran-style sweater. The real one, knitted to true island patterns passed down across generations. The patterns are not decoration, they are the heritage of a specific place, and each one carries meaning rooted in the islands themselves. Meáin works in extraordinary fibers, extra fine merino, alpaca, baby camel, cashmere, Irish linen, and it builds each piece where the tradition was born, by people who grew up inside it. $300 and up buys something closer to a craft object than a commodity. It has a birthplace. It has a people behind it. It has a reason to exist that has nothing to do with a markup and everything to do with keeping a living tradition alive. This is the sweater you do not throw out. The one that stays in rotation for 20 years, then gets handed to someone younger, the way your fathers did. And the fifth hero proves you do not need $300 to step out of the robbery entirely. Fifth, Uniqlo. Here is the value reveal this whole video has been building toward, and I am going to be completely honest about it. Lead with the extra fine merino, around $50. It is genuinely extra fine, honest, real merino fiber at a price that makes no sense compared to the wall above it. The cashmere, around $80 to $100, is real cashmere too, though I will tell you plainly, it is the basic fluffier kind, not luxurious, not John Smedley, and I would never pretend otherwise, but that honesty is exactly the weapon here. When a $50 Uniqlo extra fine merino outperforms $100 $180 AllSaints acrylic blend, and it does. The markup sitting above it has nowhere left to hide. This is the pick for the man asking where to even start, the one who has been told he needs to spend $400 to dress well. He does not. He needs to read the fiber tag and the ply, and start with honest yarn at an honest price. Uniqlo is not the summit of knitwear. It is the proof that the summit and the swindle are two different mountains, and most of the wall is selling you the swindle. So here is the whole thing in one breath. Read the fiber. Read the ply, because two beats one almost every time. Read the gauge, where finer means denser and longer lasting. Read the construction, where knitted to shape and hand-linked beat cut with scissors. And read where it was made and by whom. The lamb's wool your father wore for 20 years was never magic. It was ply, gauge, and a mill that still cared. And those mills are still running, if you know their names. I'm Bill. I read the yarn, not the label. If you missed our breakdown on the men's clothing brands robbing you blind, it's linked below at 370,000 views. And our video on the designer polo brands running the very same play covers it at 170,000 views. Subscribe. This channel reads the yarn, not the label.